Hey, so I thought I might as well do this because I was gonna do a recent pickups video, but like 90% of the pickups I just got are all Blu-rays. There's only a few kind of DVDs thrown in there, and one game. So I thought, you know what, I'll do a Blu-ray collection because I haven't fully shown it off. So we're starting off with technically a Blu-ray. It's a 1917 4K Ultra HD. I basically call these Blu-rays because I think they're the exact same technology. Um, yeah, 4K Ultra HD plus Blu-ray. I think, like, these 4K discs, I'm pretty sure, you just, like, the only thing you need is that was really hard to get out. I think the only thing you need is, like, a, a 4K TV. I think these are just basically Blu-rays, but the only difference is that you need a 4K TV to use them. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong. So I'm basically counting these as Blu-rays, and they're the exact same height, so I count them as Blu-rays. But 1917, really, really good movie. Has it's not one of my favorite movies of all time, but it has one of my favorite movie scenes in all time, which is a scene dubbed "The Night Window," which is also the name of the song that plays in it, and that's why it's my favorite scene. It's like a perfect blend of both like suspense and music, and it like perfectly comes together. It's a really great scene. Just look up "The Night Window," 1917, and you'll kind of find it. And I also really like the ending as well. But really good movie. Really good movie overall. Astro Boy. It was decent, I'd say. I'm not one of those people that was a huge fan of Astro Boy to be. Wait! Try LA Looks. Power spikes free. Yeah! Oh snap, you can actually get Astro Boy hair. If you wanted to have two massive spikes on your head. Okay, anyway, sorry. I wasn't like a huge Astro Boy fan to begin with, so, watching this movie for the first time, I liked it. I'm more interested in the studio that made it, because they also made TMNT, which I love TMNT, and then they went bankrupt after this movie. Yeah, it's an alright movie. It's good. Castle in the Sky, my second favorite Studio Ghibli movie ever made. I love this movie so much. I really, really like these Blu-ray releases of the Ghibli movies because every single one of them comes with this little booklet showing off the kind of the movie and a little bit of tidbits, and then it also includes a little showcasing of the other stuff. It's a really good, really, really, really awesome movie. The best thing I can describe it is it's kind of like Treasure Planet. It's actually it's very much like Treasure Planet, except this came out years prior, 86, or 85? Is that 85 or 86? 86. But yeah, really, really great movie. Who Framed Roger Rabbit 25th anniversary. This one's actually really cool because Blu-ray, feature film, yeah, audio commentary, deleted scenes, before and after, behind the scenes, featurette, on set. So this is actually really cool. It has a lot of look if you're interested in this, and look up Defunct Land's Who Framed Roger Rabbit video. It's like an hour and a half long. I watched it recently, and I was like, that's what made me want to rewatch this movie. That's what made me want to look at behind-the-scenes stuff of this movie. So this is a great release. It was on sale. It might still be on sale for $5 on Amazon, which that's a steal if you ask me. But great movie. I haven't seen it in a really long time. I'll watch it at some point. Good stuff. How to Train Your Dragon 3 movies collection. How to Train Your Dragon 1, 2, and 3. Good. I absolutely love How to Train Your Dragon 1. I haven't seen How to Train Your Dragon 2 since it first came out. And same goes for 3. I remember loving 3. I don't remember liking 2 that much, but I'll give it another shot and see how it is. But I got all 3 movies now, which is good. Jack Reacher, Never Go Back. This is a decent sequel to the first one. It's kind of what you'd expect out of a sequel. And what you'd expect is a movie that's not as good as the first one, a little bit worse, but still a decent successor. And that's kind of what you get here. It's worse than the first, but it's not too bad. I like it. So it's one of those situations, you know. It's no Sonic 2, where I think it improves a lot on the first movie. It's just, you know, it's what the first movie did, but a little bit worse, you know. But it is its own unique thing, so it's still good. I still enjoy it. My third favorite Studio Ghibli movie, Kiki's Delivery Service. This used to be my favorite Studio Ghibli movie for the longest time before I kind of swapped over to a movie coming up. But yeah, just great stuff. Great movie. Lego DC Superheroes Justice League Gotham City Breakout original movie. Wow, that is a long freaking title. This movie is not good at all. It's really bad. The best way I can describe it is, like, if you are like 5 years old, you'll probably get something out of it. But none of the jokes land. They're all very playtime humor. Honestly, when I went in, I was kind of expecting something like the Lego Batman games, where I think the Lego Batman games, yes, they're played for comedic effect, but there's also some good jokes in there. Like, you know, Lego Batman 2, like there's that joke where you know, there's that joke where they're on the elevator and the janitor asks, like, hey, do you guys know the score of the game? And then Superman, like, just uses his super hearing and tells them, and then janitor's like, sorry I asked, because his team was losing. I know that's not an amazing joke, but I was expecting more of that here. And here, no, it's just baby stuff. I hate to say it like that, but that's what it is. It's just dumb humor that never lands. The animation is subpar. Honestly, the only thing that might interest you is the voice acting, because the voice acting is really strange. Some voice actors, you hear them and you're like, oh, that's actually a good fit. Like, the Penguin is played by Tom Kenny. By the way, the Penguin has like 2 lines in this entire movie. Yeah, this movie mainly focuses on Joker and Harley Quinn. The other villains are very minor. Well, it focuses on these two, and then the other villains are kind of minor. But yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. Just avoid it. I paid $1 for it, and still I think I kind of wasted my time on that. Meet the Robinsons. This is one of the early Blu-ray discs. This was a first run Blu-ray disc. You can tell kind of a static difference. Originally, a lot of Blu-ray discs kind of had this like blue overlay and then a scene selection on the back, or, you know, a mural on the back of the characters. But they kind of dropped that after a little while, probably because it was too expensive. I mean, these discs were already really expensive when they first came out, so to kind of add this much detail to just up the price a little bit more, yeah, it's kind of seems obvious why they stopped doing it. But this is a good movie. I really, really, really enjoy it. Tons of nostalgia behind it. I really like the message it has going for it. I know the message is kind of drilled into your head, but I still really liked it. And, yeah, so there we go. Monsters University, one of my favorite Pixar movies. I know a lot of people hate this movie. Not hate it, but I've heard a lot of people just say it was missed potential, and it was just kind of like, oh, it's just a college story, but with Monsters Monsters characters. I don't care. I enjoyed this. I think, honestly, I like this way more than the first, and I've seen this multiple times. Yeah, I like the characters more in this, even the characters that are kind of like this guy that only has like 4 lines in the entire movie. and barely does anything, and Art that only has like 4 lines. But I like Squishy. I like Mike's portrayal in this. I like Sully's portrayal in this. I really like the ending. The ending's really great. Yeah, I think it's a really good movie. Now, my favorite Studio Ghibli movie, Ponyo, which I feel like this should have always been my favorite Studio Ghibli movie, but it wasn't. I didn't get around to watching this until like 2020, which is so strange to me why I waited that long to watch this. Because this is amazing. I love this movie. You know, a childhood memory of mine is seeing, not seeing this on the big screen, but seeing trailers for it on Disney XD. I'd be watching, like, well, not Phineas and Ferb, because this is 2008. I'd be watching, what would I be watching in 2008 on Disney? I guess, like that was animated. That was, like, a weird point between, like, Kim Possible and Phineas and Ferb, so it's, like, that weird middle point where I don't really know what was showing on Disney at that time, but I was probably watching something. I remember it being animated. Actually, given that it was 2008 in Japan, it might have been Phineas and Ferb, because Phineas and Ferb aired in 2009, so if this came out, like, if the dub came out a year later, anyway, whatever, what am I talking about? Anyway, this is a really, really great movie. I love it so much. It's just adorable, and I love the characters, and yeah, great stuff. Now, I guess you could say this is my 4th favorite Ghibli movie, Porco Rosso. This is a really fun watch. I just watched it this year at the Ghibli Fest, and after I watched it, I'm like, man, I gotta buy it, because it's really, really fun. It's a really, really fun movie. Probably, yeah, my 4th favorite Ghibli movie. What's number 5? I don't know. Like, after that, it starts to kind of trail into kind of the 9... like the 8 and 7 star ones, or the 8 and 7 out of 10s, and then there's a lot of Ghibli movies that I'd rate like 8 and 7, so you're kind of starting to trail off into that, but this is like a strong 4th place. This is a really, really good movie. Ratatouille, I was picking off the Pixar collection, and this is one of my favorite Pixar movies. Which, again, is really funny, because, also, this is another early Blu-ray release. See what they're doing here? The background, and then you got the mural. Which is funny, why this is one of my favorite Disney movies, or Pixar movies, is because when I was growing up, I didn't like it at all. Actually, I never watched it when I was growing up. Like 3 people that I know of, my brother and my parents, they watched it, and they said it was boring and you shouldn't watch it. So I said, okay, it's probably boring, I shouldn't watch it. And I didn't get around to actually watching it until I was like 14. So yeah, it's really strange how it took me that long, and once I watched it, it ended up being one of my favorite Pixar movies. It's funny, really great. Rio. Weird box art here. None of the other characters are here. If you see on the disc... Oh, the disc doesn't show it. On the DVD disc, it shows all the other characters, but yeah, Rio. This is a very standard animated movie. It is, like, the perfectly average. It's not amazing. It's not bad. It's just very in the middle. It's fine. It's predictable. It's got some good jokes. It's got some very nothing jokes that, you know, they don't... It's not like they don't land. You just don't laugh. Whatever. It's Jesse Eisenberg playing Jesse Eisenberg. I like how... It is something funny how the 2 portrayals I've seen of Jesse Eisenberg... The only 2, I need to watch more of his movies, but only 2 is Rio and Now You See Me. And it's like the exact same character. Or it's the exact same voice. I mean, you know, mainly the voice. You're like, oh, cool, he didn't change his voice at all for this role. It's just Jesse Eisenberg. Yeah, it's just a very stock standard kids movie. I found it at $1 for a garage sale. Ruby Gilman, Teenage Kraken, Collector's Edition. Oh boy, what's in the Collector's Edition? absolutely nothing. DreamWorks did that. Oh, free movie, I guess. Yeah, feel free to use that. I don't care. But yeah, DreamWorks did that with Puss in Boots as well, and I have like genuinely no idea what's in the collector's edition. So this came out this year, and I watched it and I liked it, so I found it for cheap. I think it was on sale for like $10, $13. I thought, yeah, I'll go ahead and pick it up, and yeah, it's good. It's a good movie. Really like the animation. Story is very predictable. Characters are good. Yeah, story is very predictable. Jeez. It's funny. But yeah, it's good. Good movie. I liked it. Not one of DreamWorks' best, but it's nice. You know, it's a nice, like, popcorn movie. You put it in, you're just like, yeah, I want to enjoy myself. Sonic the Hedgehog. This is a movie that is very interesting. Over time, my opinion has not gotten worse of it. It's just slowly it has bumped down to just being good. When this first came out, this was monumental. I remember sitting in the theater with a stupid freaking smile on my face, and whenever the meow scene came up, like, people were reciting it and they were laughing like crazy. So this was huge when it came out. I was loving every second of it. It's Sonic the Hedgehog on the big screen. Look, there's just Dr. Eggman. It was just this like massive event, and I loved it. And then I went to go see it again in theaters, and I loved it then. And over the years, now that I've kind of let it kind of sit for a little while, it's good. It's not like amazing, but it's good. I do think it's pretty good. But Sonic Movie 2, you know, watching that one for the first time and then thinking about it later, that is such a better Sonic movie. That really kind of like is more of what you want out of a Sonic movie. You got like Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, you got the Death Egg robot. It's a lot of like what you'd expect from a Sonic movie and what you'd want to see in theaters. Supersonic at the end, Shadow is hinted at. I mean, yeah. Watching this first one again and thinking about it again, it's still a good movie, but yeah, it's kind of a far cry when you think about it, comparing it to Sonic 2, but still good. Spider-Man No Way Home. This one's good. Yeah, again, the best Marvel movie of all time. Okay, what is this guy's name? Scott Menzel. Okay, Scott Menzel, take a step back. Have you seen Doctor Strange? Have you seen Avengers Age of Ultron? Have you seen what's the other one I like so much? Oh, Captain America 1. Captain America. Have you seen Captain America 2? Those are four, in my opinion, those are like the four like big ones. I love Captain America 1. I love the setting. I love the characters. Captain America 2 is really cool too. I love that plot line of like, you know, the corruption inside of SHIELD. Avengers Age of Ultron, I absolutely love. Seeing that multiple times. I love the villain. I love the story arc, stuff like that. And Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is my favorite. I will always love Doctor Strange as my favorite. I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch, man, nothing can beat him. and having like his own film tied around him, and I really like the jokes in that one. I think they're really well paced. I thought the ending was actually really creative and cool. The entire movie is really creative and cool. This one's good. I think there are things to like about it and things to not like about it, and it's definitely one of those where, after taking a step back, after watching it in theaters, I went, yeah, that was not as good as when I first saw it. It's still good. I'd still say it's pretty good. If you were to compare it, I'd say it's on the level of Sonic the Hedgehog, if you want to compare it that way. Both films I thought were a 10 when I first watched them, and now they're like a 4. Or not a 4. Okay, sorry, I'm thinking Letterboxd terms. Like, I usually do 10 out of 10, but Letterboxd has like a 5 out of 5 stars. So it's a 4 out of 5 stars, aka an 8 out of 10. Now, I went down from a 10 to a 4. I hate this movie. But yeah, you know, there's things to like about it, there's things not to like about it, so I'm kind of, you know, like, it is a good movie, and there's a lot of things I do like about it, but yeah, there's some things I don't. Storks. This was a movie that I watched in theaters when it came out. When did it come out? 2016? Was it 2016? 2016. 2016 is when it came out, and I watched it in theaters and then forgot everything about it. It was such a strange situation where I just remembered nothing about it. I remembered the basic plot, and I remembered one voice line, which is her name. What is it? Her name's called like Tulip, which is really strange because that's also the main character of Infinity Train, and both of these things kind of came out around like the same year. I think Infinity Train's pilot came out the exact same year. But she like he goes like, hello, Orphan Tulip, and then she's like, oh, it's just Tulip. Orphan hurts my heart. That's the one line that I remember. That's the one line that stuck with me. Also, this guy's rap, which is actually really funny. 'Cause, like, at the time, I'm like, oh, he's rapping. This is so stupid. God, animated films have gone down the toilet. But like thinking about it, I watched it again recently. It came up on Netflix, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember." I'm like, "Oh yeah, Storks. I now remember what that thing is," and I watched it again, and I found it pretty funny, and I thought it was pretty good. So I saw it for $6, and I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll buy it." And his rap's funny. I laugh at it now because of how dumb it is. And my opinions have changed since then. Like I'm a lot less cynical than what I used to be. Unless it's something like The Doors, I will stay cynical about that movie because I hate that movie. Okay. The Super Mario Bros. Movie. It's interesting because I mentioned earlier about Sonic the Hedgehog and Spider-Man No Way Home, and I wonder if this is going to be the same way. If in a year or two I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to go, you know what, it's not as good. I don't know, because the Super Mario Bros. Movie, it's such a faithful adaptation that I really don't know if I'm going to be the exact same way. First and foremost, again, in the theaters, it was a blast. I had a dumb smile on my face. I was noticing all the references. I was like, I bumped to my one of my family members next to me, and I'm like, that's Little Mac. That's this reference, that's that reference, that's this reference, and it was such a fun time to see in the theaters, and the animation's really good, and the jokes weren't that bad, and of course Jack Black as Bowser was just hilarious, and I remember in the theater everybody was laughing at the Peaches song, so but I really wonder if it's going to be one of those things where in a year or two I'm going to go, you know what, that wasn't as good as I thought it would be, but still good. I don't know. I need to take some time, maybe rewatch it one or two times. I got the Power Up edition. Oh boy, what does that include? What does that include? Oh, it includes nothing. Wow. Yeah, you get a digital code. Whoop-de freaking do. I really don't understand why it's called these collector's editions, the Power Up editions. It's like, who cares? What's the difference? Yeah. There you go. Surf's Up. This is another original Blu-ray. Look at this. Again, mural, and is this a scene selection or? Oh no, Blu-ray experience more with Blue. So this is another early Blu-ray, and a good movie. I really have a lot of nostalgia for Surf's Up, and I quite enjoy it. Shia LaBeouf as a penguin. Look at that face. That's a terrible screenshot. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I have a lot of good memories of Surf's Up. Great soundtrack too. The Surf's Up soundtrack really got me into this kind of early 2000s alternative rock. That this was kind of like one of my first exposures to that type of music. This and the video game, both games have really good soundtracks. My second and my own, like, one of two 4K releases, Soul. When I was losing access to Disney Plus, I was kind of looking through the Disney Plus movies and just kind of seeing which ones were exclusive and which ones I wanted to buy. And Soul was one of them, and I found it on sale for like $10. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll buy Soul. Ultimate Collector's Edition. Oh boy, what's in it? Nothing. Wow. Like, when you hear the term Ultimate Collector's Edition, you think like a statue along with it or something, but no, it's literally nothing. This is a fantastic movie. I remember watching it when it released on Christmas Day of 2020. It was a good day. Mostly because it was Christmas, but secondly because of Soul. Yeah, it's a movie I've seen multiple times. I think it's honestly it's one of Pixar's best, I'd say. I still have, Luca is my top one. Which is hilarious, which is not hilarious, which is just interesting. That's a 2021 movie, and it has quickly risen to be my favorite Pixar movie. Think about how good that is, and think about how I'm so glad I actually have a copy of that. It's on DVD. Sure, the Blu-ray was hard to find and expensive, but still, I'd say Soul is definitely in like the top 10 Pixar movies, or top 5 maybe. Ratatouille's in there, Cars is in there, and then Luca is number 1. So yeah, it's just a fantastic movie. I mean, you know what's also fantastic? Terminator 2 Judgment Day. You know, you gotta have a copy of it, because it's genuinely one of the best action movies ever made. You remember all the one-liners, they're all great. You remember all the scenes. It's just fantastic. I had an itch to watch / play Terminator 2. Here, I actually got it right here. I think I bought these the same day, the T2 and the T2 NES game. This game sucks, by the way, but I was in such a mood, I was in such an itch to watch Terminator 2 that I had fun with the NES game. Like, the day I bought it, I just played it for like 20 minutes. Which I know was not a lot, but for an NES game where, for a difficult NES game where you're going to get a game over in the first 5 minutes, 20 minutes is kind of, quite a long time. But yeah, I just have I just had a huge itch to watch and play it, and I watched it, and I played it, and I'm like, I still freaking love this movie. It's a 10 out of 10 action movie. I mean, it's one of the greats. The Adventures of Tintin. This movie's really good. I like this movie. Apparently, fans do not like it. Ram pointed that out on Letterboxd, which I'm shocked, because, I mean, true, I've never read the comics. But I feel like this would be a really faithful adaptation. I think it's really well done. And it sucks that, like, it points at a sequel. It ends on a cliffhanger. A pretty obvious one, too. And it never went anywhere. It did fairly well in the box office. I think, I don't think it won Best Animated Feature of was it 2012 when it came out? Does not say. Oh, 2011. Oh, no, 2011 is when it released. 2012 is when this Blu-ray copy released. I don't think it won Best Animated Feature of 2011. I think that went to Rango, right? No, that wouldn't went to Rango. That would have been 2 Nickelodeon movies in the exact same year. Anyway, whatever. It's still a really good movie. And, I think it really deserves a watch. Because it really... It's really cool to see, like, an animated movie that's, like, meant for kids, but also has blood and shootouts and alcohol. And, again, it's one of those weird situations where you find yourself being cool watching it. You're like, yeah, it's something you don't see very often. And something you still don't see. For Nickelodeon to put their names on this is pretty shocking. But that's what makes it so cool. I don't know. It's, yeah, I like it. The Emperor's New Groove plus Kronk's New Groove. I was looking for just The Emperor's New Groove, and for some reason, every single version I tried looking for also came with Kronk's New Groove. I didn't pay that much for it. I spent like $10 for it, but still, like, I love how I couldn't find one that just had The Emperor's New Groove, so now I have both. I love The Emperor's New Groove. It's so nostalgic for me. I love a lot of the lines. I know Nostalgia Critics is like, David Spade as a llama? Ew. But I find it hilarious. He's great. And then I have Kronk's New Groove, which I've never seen, but I've heard it's bad. So, there you go. I have both. Maybe that's why they kept including it. They're like, we want people to watch this movie. The Lego Movie, just fantastic. Just downright fantastic. It's just a really, really, really fun movie. One I've seen many times. I've played the video game many times. I have the 3DS game right here. Aren't you glad we're sitting right next to the shelf that has a bunch of video games on it? Get this open. There you go. Have the Lego game on the 3DS. I got the PS4 version. Just a ton of great. Here's a little Jam Master trivia. You ready for it? I went to go see this movie, and the theater was completely packed. Actually, completely. I wasn't able to get a ticket for it, which that is the first time that's ever happened. I think we watched it like a week after it released, too, and it was still fully booked. I have never had that happen with any other movie I've seen. I've had theaters that are packed. Coraline was packed, the re-release that came out this year. Kiki was packed. I have never had a theater that has been fully packed. So that was pretty crazy that it was this kind of monumental film, and it is monumental because it got nominated for Best Film of the Year, which is totally crazy for an animated film to be nominated for that. The last time that happened was with Beauty and the Beast, before there even was a Best Animated Feature category, and it's just that good. I mean, it's a really, really great Lego movie, not just a Lego movie, but a great movie. Yeah, best Lego movie. Best Lego movie is called The Lego Movie. And then finally, Your Name. The Wise, Your Name. This one I have a lot of nostalgia for. I remember paying my own money for it, and I remember spending a ton of time awaiting it. I was really excited for it, and I watched it, and then I watched it again, and then I watched it again. It's just a really, really good movie, and a really good tale. And I'm so glad that this is my original copy that I've kept since, like, 2015. It's just like lots of great memories with this. Not 2015, probably 2016. Yeah, 2016, because I bought Shantae the same day. Half Genie Hero. I bought it like it came out in 2015, and then I bought it on sale for like $20. It was the Risky Beats edition. Like, anyway, great movie, and so yeah, I'm really glad to actually to own this. It's nice, and that's it. That's it for my Blu-ray collection, so there you go.